just want to pick up where I left off. We're sort of going to jump right into it. I'm trying to talk really quick, so if these seem a little bit incoherent, it's because I didn't write down what I wanted to say. I'm just sort of sharing and expressing who I am, and yeah, I notice I say a lot. I'm really sorry about that. I'm not a great public speaker. In fact, I get really nervous doing it, so please bear with me. Hopefully I will learn as I post more videos to stop saying all the time. So yeah, just dealing with sort of mental health and all this stuff. It meant I wasn't a great student in school. My grades got better, grade 11, grade 12, and then I did like what we call a victory lap, which is you go back to high school for a year or whatever to like pick up extra credits and stuff like that. Basically, it's to make you look good for colleges. So I did that like victory lap for high school so I could get into university where I wanted to study psychology. Funny enough, because I knew I had like all these mental health disorders, and my passion has always been to help people and reach out to people, and a lot of it has been to like reach out to teenagers who've dealt with sort of self-injury and eating disorders, because I know what it's like to go through that. I mean, everybody's journey is different. Everybody has their own reasons for why they got into eating disorders, or why they got into self-injury, or why they got into whatever, drug addiction, whatever it is that people have gotten into. Everybody has their own journey. But I've always wanted to be an ear to people, especially to teenagers, and just be like, you know what, I understand, I've been there, I know how hard this is. If you need to talk, I'm here for you. And a lot of times you'll see me see that like on my Facebook when I post stuff about hard-hitting issues, that if anybody needs to talk, I'm here. And if you're watching this right now and you are in any way like suicidal or depressed or whatever, please reach out, send me a message. If you need my email, I'll send you my email. You know, whatever, we can hook up on Facebook. That sounds weird. We can connect like however, but I just want to I want to help people. So if you're going through a really hard time and you have no one to turn to, please reach out. Reach out to me, reach out to somebody. Just reach out, because life is worth living, and things can get better. I'm here as living proof that things can get better. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about my journey. So I finished high school. I had some stuff happen. Growing up, I had some sexual assault things happen, and then I had more mental health stuff going on. When I graduated high school, things were really difficult. Got accepted to university, went to university. First year of university, I tried to kill myself, and that was a really huge deal. The university had no idea how to help me or what to do. I went to a very small private college, and they tried their best to help me, and friends rallied around me and stuff like that. But it was a really overwhelming experience, being in university and dealing with, like, I have a little bit of OCD, which means I also have some perfectionism issues and stuff like that. So it was really hard, like, being there and trying to do my classes and knowing I wasn't doing well in all of my classes, and just feeling alone and overwhelmed. And so I reacted the way that I knew how to react, and I still wasn't properly diagnosed. I mean, I had the borderline diagnosis at this point, but I never felt like that really fit me, and mostly because of some of the characteristics of borderline. There's some things that fit me, but I think some of those things that fit me are things that fit like everybody, you know, and so I didn't ever identify with it. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it was me. So I actually fought against it quite a bit, which is why when I was 25, it got changed. But anyways, so finished my first year of university. My second year of university started with me having to get surgery, got my gallbladder out, and then I went back to school, and my second year of university, I started having heart problems and started having grand mal seizures. I had never had a grand mal seizure before. I had had a heart murmur when I was younger, but I didn't really have like anything major when I was like 16, I think. I think I was like 15 or 16. They told me it was gone. And all of a sudden I was having major tachycardia issues. My heart rate would go up to 200 and then drop down. And again, I've always been overweight, so I know weight plays a huge factor. But I wasn't as big as I am now. And I was a lot more active at that point. So it was actually quite scary for me because all of this stuff was happening. I was having these grand mal seizures, no idea what was going on. And like I could have like 6 of these episodes a day. And it was frustrating. And I wound up having to leave school, and I got to move in with a friend's parents, and they're absolutely wonderful. And I hope if they ever watch any of these videos that they really know how amazing they truly are and how much they really did impact my life for the better. But the years I lived with them were really, really hard, and not because they did anything wrong, but because I really had to deal with a lot of tough stuff, and they put up with it, which was amazing. I had, in that time, I wound up doing a lot of suicide attempts, overdosing on medication, quite a bit. I was self-injuring all the time, and it was not pretty. I could not be trusted to have medication stuff. I was often throwing up, making myself even more sick, which I don't know if they knew that. Sorry if you're just finding that out. I'm really sorry. It wasn't a good time emotionally for me, and they loved me through it and tried to support me through it, and it was just a really, really hard time. And then in there I decided that, hey, I want to get married. I had started dating a guy when I was in university. We had an off and on relationship for a number of years, and like 2 or 3 years, I think. And then we decided to get married, and it was really quick. Like, we decided, and within 3 months we were married. Our marriage, it technically lasted 5 years. In terms of like the divorce was finalized after our 5th anniversary, but we separated 4 years. And it wasn't a good marriage. I was not ready in any way to be a wife. Mental health wise, I was all over the place. Physically, I was not in a good place. And I was 23, and I really did not know what it meant to be a wife, how to be supportive to somebody else, because I needed so much support myself. And I think he had his own struggles and things that he was dealing with, and he didn't always know how to be the best husband or and so the two of us combined, we were so dysfunctional, and it didn't work, and it actually ended up being abusive on both ends. With my mental health and stuff, he had to endure, I think, a lot of emotional abuse, and I had to endure some different forms of abuse from his end. And so that ended, and that was really hard because I really loved him, and I believe he really loved me. Sorry. And so that was a really difficult time. And then after I separated from my first husband, I met the guy who'd become my husband now. Which was a huge blessing, and I still wasn't ready to be what was needed, but I was a lot more ready. I had gone to a treatment center called New Life Girls Home. It's a Christian residential program, awesome place. The staff there poured their hearts and souls into me. I will be forever changed from that place. I'm so thankful for it. Did I walk away following everything they taught me? No, I'm sure that they wish that there were some definite different choices that I had made after I left, but they really did change my life for the better, and really helped sort of help me become where I am today. And the reason why I went to the girls' home, I kind of skipped ahead of that, is because I had actually wound up taking like 3 overdoses in 4 days. It was really, really serious. I almost died. My church family I had at that time, they were amazing people, and they were like, we're afraid we're going to lose you. We know of this treatment center. I was living in a different part of Canada than the treatment center was, and they said, we'll send you here, we'll pay for it, you don't have to worry about anything. We just want you to go and get healthy. And I had also been cutting so badly that I was needing stitches and staples on a regular basis. And I mean, honestly, it's actually pretty amazing that I didn't do more damage or didn't die by accident, or in some cases on purpose. Like, I know I'm here for a reason. It was that bad. It was that bad. So I came, and then I decided that I was going to stay where I am now, because I didn't want to go back to a bunch of unhealthy relationships, essentially. And then I met my now husband, and it's still been a struggle. I mean, last year I was in the hospital more than I wasn't, and like, I got put in the hospital in February. I got let out in May, and then I was back in the hospital in July, let out in August, and I got married in between there. I got married in June last year, in June of last year, and so actually part of my wedding planning happened in the hospital, which is not fun, and I don't suggest it, but, you know, that's just where I was at, because emotionally I was not in a good place. And for anybody with mental health, planning a wedding is a huge, huge thing. So if you're struggling, like if you're planning your wedding and you're struggling with some mental health stuff, reach out to the people around you and make sure that you tell them that you need extra support, because getting married is listed as one of those, like, one of the major stressors, one of the things that can trigger major episodes of any type of mental health. So make sure you're reaching out to the people around you. So that's basically, like, leading up to today-ish. So I don't work currently, in terms of, like, I don't have a steady job. I sometimes do some childcare for friends of mine who have children of various ages. Childcare is one of my passions. I love kids. Any of my friends who watch this who have kids, you know I love your kids, so just throwing that out there. I love your kids. I've been really blessed to have some awesome people in my life, and like I said before, now I've signed up to do Beachbody. So I'm really saying all of this to say, like, I've had quite a journey, and my process now is walking through, like, how I balance my mental health with everything else. And I'm actually gonna sort of share. I'm probably gonna have to do 3 videos. I'm sorry, this is gonna be a 3-part, and I'm not sure if it makes any sense. I hope you watch all 3 parts. But yeah, I'm gonna do a 3-part because I want to explain how I'm finding eating and exercising and stuff is actually all linked together with the mental health. So that's my mental health story. If you have any questions sort of on it, or want me to explain something in more detail, let me know. I might explain a little bit more my eating disorder as I sort of post videos about food and nutrition, because that's been a huge struggle in my life. It's still something that I face. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you like what you see or you want to see more, please subscribe. It lets me know that people are watching, and it also keeps me accountable and keeps me working towards my goals. Encouragement is always good. And again, if you need some help, please, please, please reach out. Please reach out. And I will see you guys in a bit.